Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Midnight Ride. This is our Midnight Ride, not the Midnight Ride of Witches. It's Midnight Ride with Grayman Prepping. And how's everybody doing out there? I got Mark up here with me. And let's go over the comments and see who's all here. First one in was Phelan Clan Wolf, and he proclaimed first and lurking. Then Shadow Scout Swede, then Uncle Al, Dipole Frog 79. Then Mark came in. and let's see, everyone's chit-chatting there. Back and forth. And Walt came in and said howdy. Phelan said he's still lurking. Sarah Boss is here. Soldiers Girl Prepper is here. Lori J was here. She came in and she said goodnight. She's way back east, up in Canada. And Idaho Garden Girl's here. And everybody's talking back and forth. Come on, scroll. Aiden Ears here from across the pond. And Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man is here. All righty. Okay, so let me kill my slideshow off the side here so I can bring up the news. I got 7 articles or headlines I want to touch on here. There are a couple of them I just, they weren't much at all. Mostly about the weather and stuff and the excessive storms that California is getting and the extra wetness. And then again, of course, they did call the atmospheric river a bomb cyclone. Let's see, cyclone goes around in a circle. Atmospheric river kind of meanders like this across the Pacific. Anyways, all right, so here's one that's should scare everybody across the country because it has to do with your insurance. Auto insurance spiked 30% for all state customers in California, which means it's going to spread to other states. And any state that has any type of natural disaster, expect an increase. All right, and Allstate wasn't the only one raising insurance rates. State Farm and trying to remember some others from the article, but there were several others that are already kicking it up there. Next headline: E. coli sickens 10, linked to recalled cheese sold nationwide. These corporations that have bought up the farms and are sacrificing standard safety for profits. And here comes Lewis, maybe. I don't see his picture down there yet. I see him trying to come up. Okay. Oh, there he is. All right. Boom. There we go.
Hey.
And
what's up, Lewis?
They're recalling all stuff for listeria, and they're acting as if it's the same outbreak, just kind of spreading around. Sort of like they're acting like a certain red dragon was the only thing making people under the weather in 2020. And the normal seasonal thing, they had 0 cases of it. It was all red dragon.
Wow, 50 people get sick from a vegetable and they shut down the industry. But yeah, I'm not going there.
Yeah, exactly. Now here's one I haven't opened this other one up yet. I saw it and I just said I can't look at it right now. So let me go ahead and just open it up here and I'll read you the headline from it. And okay, there it's open. Elon Musk nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. Any thoughts on it, people?
What piece?
Okay. Other 2024 Nobel contenders include repeat nominee, former President Donald Trump, journalist Julian Astridge, and this is according to Politico. Well, I don't trust Politico anyways. But Okay, what to say? He was nominated. Musk was nominated by Marius Nelson, a Norwegian parliament member with the Libertarian Progress Party, who cited Musk's support for free speech and his work in the tech sector and his provision of Starlink satellite net to soldiers in the Ukraine. No, I'm sorry, that is not something for the peace.
Yay, technology funded by us.
Yeah, 2 soldiers fighting in a war, so they can keep on fighting. And his support for free speech, where they can talk about stuff where they are is actually drumming up hate. No. All right. So yeah. So that was that one. All right. Let's go back here. Okay. All right. I got to go into this again. This one here, I got to go into on it because it affects the entire nation, even though they're trying to headline it as if it were a California thing. Superbug infection spreading in California around the United States. See latest data. The multi-drug resistant C. auris fungus kills about 1/3 of the people who contact it, according to the CDC. And there's a picture of it. So according to the CDC, it is an emerging fungus that presents a serious global health threat. It kills about 1/3 of the people who contract it. The fungus is mostly found in healthcare facilities, primarily in long-term acute care hospitals and nursing homes that use ventilators.
Interesting.
Yeah. The ventilators in nursing homes rears its ugly head again after it disappeared after 2020. And it was a big cause of the Red Dragon in 2020. Okay, the article says, as of November 2023, there were a total of 6,583 recorded cases of the superbug in California since 2017. So this article is from California, so it's aimed mainly at California, but I would love to see the numbers for New York. The biggest county in, let me bring this up again, get real quick here. So they've got a county map. I'm going to read off of that here. I don't want to show the ads off on the side there. Orange County, where Disneyland's at, 3,253. Oh, sorry, Los Angeles County. Second was Orange County, where Disneyland's at, with 2,180. Then the next one down was San Bernardino County, right next to it, with 636. Then Riverside County, where my dad was born, with 349. Then San Diego with 139. And the other listed counties have less than 10%, or less than 10 cases since 2017.
All those counties seem to be very far south.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in the Bay Area, but those 5. How do I say this without the platform getting mad at me for diming out illegal aliens? I think I just did.
Something must be floating through the air from the south to the north, right over fences.
But it's found mainly in nursing homes and long-term healthcare facilities.
Well, they're hiring a lot of new help.
Mm-hmm. And since it's down mostly in Southern California, where it stays nice and warm, I can imagine Texas has a few. Florida has a boatload. Georgia has a bunch. Alabama probably has a few. But it's also up in some other states where the healthcare facilities where they really shutter them in during the wintertime to stay warm. Yeah, so if you want to check it out, you can look for the you can Google CDC data on superbug fungus.
I hear measles is making a comeback.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah. Yeah, measles been making a fun comeback because according to some people, it's becoming immune to the immunization shot. Gee,
man, it's good that everybody here has the immunization shot, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know I had chicken pox as a kid. I think I had measles too before they had the immunization shot. Oh wow, I was sick for a couple days. One day was really bad. The rest of them I was just made to stay in bed till I was totally well and there were no more signs of it. Then I could go back to school.
I remember a Brady Bunch episode like that, and you can't seem to find it anymore.
Yeah. All right, next item. The next 3 headlines are from today. All right. Mass. They didn't put massive. They just put mass AT&T outage impacting California customers. Well, it was more than just California. It was most of the southern half of the country, and in the northeast, north Midwest, where the large cities are. And I really love the afternoon edition that Suspicious Observers put out, slamming the NOAA, the National Oceanic Aviation or Atmospheric Administration, saying it's highly unlikely that this is causing it. Yet it's the only thing out there that was causing all the problems that were going on, all of the cell phone stuff. Not to mention, Starlink was highly impacted with all their satellites up there in the atmosphere. Anyways, you want to learn more about that, just go over to Suspicious Observers and check out this afternoon's video. All right. Touching again on the E. coli stuff today, about 1,000 California stores sold recalled products in Listeria outbreak. Again, acting as if it's a single outbreak. It's not. It's dozens of little outbreaks. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? Got Rebel Canners in the house. Uh-oh, wait. If she's up at midnight, and it's midnight back there, her boys must have woke her up.
Or the baby, or she's taking care of the grandbaby.
I don't think she's taking care of grandbaby. Grandbaby's at the house with mommy and daddy, I believe. And let's see here. Yeah, so they're acting if everything's from one outbreak, if it was all from one farm and spreading out, and they could track it to all these products from one farm, then it's a single outbreak. But it's just not. This has come from Northern California, Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico. It's coming from other states as well, and yet they're acting as if it's a single outbreak. You can tell how the mainstream media is focusing on to one thing.
Well, at least they're California.
Yeah. The last one here, I was looking at it's nothing compared to what else I saw here. It's a 3.2 earthquake in the San Francisco Bay Area, and they're showing the map. So if you ever wonder why the San Francisco Bay Area has so many earthquakes, look at all those lines on that map. Even the pale yellow ones you can hardly see here. These are all fault lines. The big red one here is the San Andreas. The San Gregorio fault is here. The Hayward fault here, which is about 10 10 to 15 years beyond the time frame for a major eruption, a major quake on it. By major quake, it's 7.0 or greater. So, but it's just not showing where the quake was this morning. I'm willing to bet it was on the Calaveras Fault or the Green Valley Fault going through Contra Costa County. Let's see, it's okay. It's epicenter was in Fremont, Calaveras Fault. Yep, on the Calaveras Fault. Which, hey, wait a minute, that kind of coincides with the earthquake that was today out on the 6.3 on the southern East Pacific rise, which puts it down by Indonesia and that. And every time there's one over there, especially if it's centered around Vanuatu, within a week there's one. Within a couple hours to a week, there's always a 3-pointer on the Calaveras Fault. All right. And let's see. Go ahead and get out of that one. Back here. And that was the last article for the news that I had to share with everybody. Does anybody have any major stories they would like to share? Things going on in their state?
We had a world record here today and yesterday for the temperature. It was in the double digits.
In the double digits?
Yeah.
Oh, extremely warm. And that goes again. That flies in. I got to bring this one up here. I got to do it. Sorry, hang on. Let me get it up here. Open a new tab. Also from Suspicious Observers. Let's see the Suspicious Observers. Boom. This was yesterday's or was it this morning? Hang on. Got to get in there and see the one that talks about the. Okay, here it is. It was from the 21st. So let's see if I can bring this up without it starting. It's okay. It's got an ad popping up. So hang on. Let me get the ad so I can skip it. There we go. And he's showing the. Looking there. Here we go. Okay. Hit the right spot here. Pause it. Go big. All right. So this is what's going on. Just the opposite. This is in Zhangjin. Suddenly dropped to minus 52 degrees centigrade or minus 61.6 degrees Fahrenheit. A sharp drop of 45 degrees. Boom. It caught waterfowl and froze them in the water before they could get out of the water. That's just the opposite of what Lewis is experiencing. This was instant freeze. And like he said on it, it's similar to the movie The Day After Tomorrow, where they had the suddenly the cold air coming down, just freezing stuff instantly. So yeah, so some areas are getting there. And the thing is, though, when NOAA does its worldwide temperature map, it'll show all the warm spots like around Lewis. But guess what they'll forget to put on there? What the cold spot that will be forgotten to be put on there for the month of February? China. Hey, Brenda, how's it going?
I like when some of those weather places channels show how red it is when it's just normal warm and how blue it is when it's normal cold, to try to pretend that it's hotter or colder than usual.
Yeah, well, I would say 99% of the time it's showing it warmer because they got to go along with the narrative. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights in the house now. All right, hang on here. I got to get another cough drop here. I notice when I keep my big mouth shut and I don't talk during the day, I cough a lot less. It's all that hot air going across my esophagus, making it tickle. Yesterday was my oldest grandson's birthday, and we gotta make sure the. All right, so he turned 9 yesterday, and about 2 hours, I guess about an hour and a half before his special present was supposed to happen, my daughter calls and said, "The lights in the kitchen go out on their own." And she goes, "Yeah, it went out. I've been flicking this. Oh, there it just came back on again. Why are we talking? Oh, it went out again." The ballast is going bad in the fluorescent light fixture in the kitchen. So I ran over some 4-foot LED lights to put around on the kitchen, plug into the wall outlets. And so they have, and since they took that over there, then it started staying on for 2 or 3 hours at a shot. But she turns it off unless she absolutely needs to use it. I was going to try to get over there today to fix it, but I don't know, something just kept. I went to bed early. I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night, so about this time last night, and I woke up at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. 3 hours later, you're like, "Why am I awake?" Came in here, looked at a few things, took one of those melatonin sleep pills. Gave it about 15 minutes, went in there, crashed out for an hour, woke up again. And then when I was watching the stuff, hey, that's about the time that those flashes were going on the sun. The sunspots were flashing and sending off plasma particles to the Earth, which arrived almost instantly. I mean, it's like the speed, like they're traveling at a half a mile an hour less than the speed of light. Got in a North Korean travel ad. and Mark got an ad too.
Yeah, I want to say what mine was for.
Come here, Zeus.
Was that one of those bend over and cough ads?
No, I get the local politician ads from my area.
Okay.
And I'll let them play because it costs them money, and I'm not voting for them.
Yeah. And anyways, with the flares that are popping off the northern incoming sunspot group, we could have some more X class or M class flaring going on tonight and tomorrow.
I thought it took 3 days for those flares to get here. They see it, and it
takes different things. The plasma stream is almost instantaneous. I mean, it travels at the speed of light. That's what you can have a solar flare and no CME ejection, but you're going to have a plasma ejection, and the plasma is going to go around the spiral. It doesn't have to be aimed at Earth either. If it's aimed. All right. So the sun's all right. So if straight ahead of me, if I'm the sun, straight ahead of me is to the Earth, and I eject out towards my left, it's going to catch the spiral and bring it around to the Earth within a couple hours, or not even a couple hours. Hang on, let me look it up. Let me look up to get the time right. So let me see how long does light take to reach Earth from the sun? 8.5 minutes. So it can go pop, and about the time we're seeing it from there, within a few seconds, we're getting bombarded by the plasma. Let's see. Brenda got a Harbor Freight ad. Sarah Boss got her first ad. So, anyways, yeah. So, like the plasma stream will reach Earth within 8.5 minutes. A CME ejection, that's matter, other matter and stuff traveling out, and it can take anywhere from 1 to 7 days, depending on how potently the pop is, the push, the explosion of it is. If it's a real slow one, it goes out slow, it could take up to a week or longer for it to reach us. If it's one of these ones that goes, boom, it's going to be, a day or even maybe a little less if it's fast enough.
Thank you. That makes more sense now.
Yeah. And there's, and also depends on the direction it's aimed at. The ones that went off last night, early morning, whatever you want to call it, weren't aimed at the Earth. They're aimed away, but as stuff pops out, it spreads out. And so we could get a trailing edge off on the far edge out here that catches a glancing blow, possibly. But I'd have to go back in and look and see how they've updated what's called the Emerald Spiral from both NOAA and NASA, and see if when they both agree it's going to miss, generally it misses. When they both agree it's going to hit us, it generally hits us. But I think this was a low X class event. Both of them. But then see that one off the northern incoming limb wasn't the only ones that went off yesterday. Last night, whatever, because there was one down on the outgoing southern limb and one on the incoming southern limb as well. But those were aimed mainly straight. And then there was a filament eruption on the not quite departing limb, but heading that way. That was it wasn't a solar flare. It was just the filaments that just reacted and spit off. Had a burp and spit off some stuff. So the sun's active right now, guys.
In the sun's cyclical, like every 11 years.
That's from the high to the low, and then back to the high again. So your
22
high,
years, give or take.
It's 11 years from high to low and back again to high. So basically, you got 11 years from here to here as it goes up and down as the cycle goes. All right. All right. CR, you will make a bet on that. I'm betting it's going to be a travel ad because Uncle Al had a travel ad. Shadows had a travel ad. Now Uncle Al's getting a retirement home ad.
Sorry, Al.
Don't take it out. Don't take it.
It's a trap.
They want you to get in there and get that super bug fungus. Don't go there, Al. Yeah. Hey, Don, how's it going? WD Glock and Roll is in the house. So, who all had suffered? All right. A 1 means you did. 2 means you did not. Who all were affected by the cell phone outage that was, quote, everywhere nationwide? We weren't affected here because my daughter was making calls. I called her. I saw it pop up on Facebook. Okay, so, all right. So Mark, you did not. Shawnee did not. Uncle Al did not. Idaho Garden Girl did not.
My daughter texted me and said, asked if I was having a problem, and she's out in Illinois. I said no. She said her employees were they couldn't get a hold of half their employees, mostly in California and Nevada.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you going back to suspicious observers showing the impact from the plasma and the induction on the everything else. The first one hit affected the Western Pacific, and it showed the flash going over. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Over the the West Coast. Reopen, close tab, go back.
Yeah, I never one of those outages.
All right, hang on to go to videos. This morning's, there we go. I'm going to try just bringing this up. So, of course, they get, suspicious observers, when they get, 60,000 views a day on a video, they always get ads popped all over their stuff. Okay, let's see if I can find it here. All right, so there's, it went too far. So there's your, come on, freeze, stop, there we go. There's your 2 X class, just barely into the X class range. Followed by a couple C class hits here. Then we're going to go along. They're showing the flares and stuff there. All right, here we go. These are the absorption rate of the stuff and everything. But look at the flaring here, and I'll put the link to this video in there so you can see it itself. See how it goes, and see how it's touching California there now? And it flared up there. And the other one was over in the Indian Ocean, and that's where it flared out. So, yeah, Madagascar got hit pretty hard on that one.
Hawaii must have got hammered.
Possibly. Let me go back and look and see if it does. Let's see if I can pick. Yeah, well, there's the Hawaiian Islands up here. But down here, Tonga or American Samoa down there got hit harder. That's down there. But yeah, they still got nailed pretty good there. Yeah, Hawaii got nailed for a little bit there. So they should have had stuff too. So let me go ahead and come back over here. And I'm going to drop the link to that video. If you're not subscribed to Suspicious Observers, good source to get a lot of information about space weather and how the sun is the one thing that really affects, here on planet Earth. I bet I still get a banner about the UN thing on warming, but yeah. So there's the link to that video. You can subscribe to the channel. I watch him every morning, and I catch all his broadcasts. Usually does one in the morning, and I would say 4 times a week he does an afternoon one as well. Update on what's going on. Hang on. What I just saw it. Traveling far away tomorrow, rolling heavy. Okay, Don.
I was watching the news. I can't remember what they exactly said, but they were talking about the forest fires up here in Canada, and how there's still hot spots, and how the roots are still burning and all the all the mulch underneath is still burning.
Yep. That's what happens like down in Contra Costa County, over there in California. In eastern Contra Costa County, there are a lot of bogs and marshes, and the whole that part of the Central Valley is on top of peat bogs, peat moss.
It's all the
You
humus.
know, the peat moss down there is like, several 100 feet thick over the entire. And when it catches on fire, when it's from a surface fire starts burning down, they get in there as fast as they can, and they start pumping water on it, and they bring in excavators with the extra long sticks so they can get up and dig and stuff to try to get the water down into saturated enough to stop the fire. Otherwise, they spend the next several months just pumping water into the area that's being burnt out. As it burns out, it creates a hole, and they just pump water in. They're trying to drown it.
It's those underground fires, and we used to learn about that in Boy Scouts on the East Coast here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. They were saying that AT&T. Everyone picked on AT&T since it's a big name one, but Cricket was out, and there were like 12 carriers they named. That
T-Mobile, Verizon, they all took hits everywhere.
They all took hits, but it wasn't nationwide like they said. It was spotty over certain areas, and if you look at the areas where it was at, that's where they got an overabundance of cell towers and have their own electromagnetic field going on up in the sky. And you see electromagnetic field, incoming electromagnetic thing. Oh, it's attracted to it.
Must be that 5G thing.
Well, don't get me started on that poison.
Sorry.
I don't think 5G is any better than what we had before.
Oh, it's worse. It's worse because it's deadly to humans. That used to be a ham radio only frequency. And the ham radio operators that operated on those frequencies had a 20 to 50 foot lead line from their base station to the tower, to the radio tower. They did not get within 20 feet of that radio tower because they could pick up the radiation off the radio tower, and it was way up in the air and it is broadcasting out. Well, 5G broadcasts every direction it can, and it's, there's plenty of information out there on it that the major corporations have paid off the members at the FCC to ignore and to lie to the president about.
Yeah, it's not 5 gigahertz. It's 5th generation.
Yeah, but the bands that they're using, they took from the amateur radio bands.
Yeah, super narrow, super short.
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting is Modern Refugee put out a video on it this morning saying that he was affected and he had to use landline to contact the sheriff's department, his other contacts, find out what was going on. And then I commented on his video. It's like, didn't affect us up here in Idaho at all. And he goes, yeah. And then about 10 minutes later, he replied back, yeah, I just got news it's getting worse in some areas. And then Brett Broussard put out on Facebook about it, and someone else put out, yeah, it's getting worse. And somebody else goes, oh, it's just AT&T, that's it. And everyone jumped on him and said, no, it's not. It's just about all the carriers. But it was spotty and stuff, and it went to the areas where they had a lot of towers. What's interesting is that Louisiana and Alabama and a couple of other the Gulf states there have an increased amount of cell towers because they're ground zero for hurricanes, and they want to have towers that stay up and functioning. And so they have an overabundance of cell towers like Los Angeles does, like New York does, like Chicago does, like San Francisco does. But yeah. Make sure you're using a 20-foot PVC pole, and you have a piece of corrugated metal between you and that bag of popcorn if you walk up there.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Yeah. We had sunny weather too here today. Unfortunately, I just kept waking up so much during the night. I mean, I got maybe a total of 4 hours sleep last night, maybe 5 hours sleep, counting that first 3 hour block. But then from then on, up all the time. And this morning, man, I was suffering the effect of sleep deprivation. I had one of those headaches.
Yeah, I was power washing the couple of trains today and some pickup trucks today. That's how warm it was.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable this time of the year. The
Yeah.
guy I work for, he says it's like the coldest time of the year up here in Canada.
Yeah, out on the off the patio here and back, usually the snow doesn't melt there for long after we have our last freeze date. But it's just about all melted out. If I was feeling up to it, I could have gotten on my tractor and done some rotor tilling out there and tilled all those cardboard boxes I laid out there, nice and soaked and breaking down from all the rain and stuff. I could have tilled all that in a couple passes and been that much ahead for the spring. But where my rotor till is sitting, it's muddy.
We got rain for the last day and a half out here in on the east side.
Don, you want to be on the eastern side of that border.
Isn't that supposed to be part of Idaho soon? Maybe.
Yeah, I seriously doubt the demon rats will allow that.
No, they won't let it happen. They'll just all move there.
Oh yeah, because you were probably saying you were faking it, and because it was a fake thing, they're not going to put it up, even though you were exposing the truth.
Oh, we've taken fluorescent tubes under high tension power lines, and they glow. You stick in the ground in a nice place right underneath it, and they'll just stay lit. Not bright lit, but they just light up.
We had some of the heavy duty fluorescent tube protector tubes in the shop, and we put some of those on some fluorescent tubes so they wouldn't break. And we taped it in and stuff. We went out there at night and we played Star Wars.
Yes. That's fun. Boy Scouts are awesome.
Boy Scouts, nothing. You're talking construction workers.
Well, yeah,
you're talking 30, 40-year-old guys out there playing Star Wars. I'm Mace Windu. I'm Yoda.
And then the neighbors call the cops because they see some lights flashing around.
And if the cops had shown up, we would have handed them fluorescent light tubes too.
Yeah, here, join up.
and knowing the sheriff's deputies for that area, because I used to work with them, it would have been sure. Some of those guys are kids at heart.
Luke, join the dark side.
Oh, all right, WD. There's a warning. McCall is expensive. McCall is also where one of the hospitals is, I believe. It would not be good for the tax situation for us. Okay. Well, Don, south of McCall, the town of Council, the county seat of Adams County, that's where my wife and I were looking at till my daughter said, we're going to stay over here in eastern Idaho after we graduate from college. And my wife says, oh, all right, that's where the grandbabies are going to be. We're going to the eastern side instead of the western side of the state.
Luke, you're a Democrat now.
No! No! Wait, no! No! No!
Just fall off the cliff. You're good.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I thought Darth Vader was actually a left-leaning libertarian, and the Emperor was the head of the demon rats.
I think the Emperor looks like some guy whose name begins with the letter S.
He looks like some lady whose name begins with P.
Well, that too. Maybe a cross between the two.
Yeah. Ah, that's right, because Don's on the state pension plan. That's why he doesn't want to leave Oregon. Well, if I'd been on the been able to get on the piers for California, and actually California allows you to leave the state and on the piers stuff. Because a friend of mine was a deputy for Contra Costa County. He was a marshal first, and they combined the marshals, which took care of the courts, and the deputies together. And his office was the last marshal to switch over, and they were fighting it tooth and nail with the union.
You just have to rent a very small one-room apartment there and buy a summer home elsewhere. And stay there for most of the year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. I just realized something. I forgot to video my exercises this morning.
Oh, you didn't exercise.
No, I exercised. I forgot to video it. Because by the time I woke back up again, when I actually finally got to sleep, I woke up about noon. And I said, oh, it's my noontime exercises. And I forgot to run the camera.
Don't worry, Gil. We believe you.
That's all, folks. All right. Let's see what else was. Oh, tomorrow, I believe it's at noon. Let me double check here. Yeah, tomorrow at noon, Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I got a premiere coming out. It's Prepping for Beginners #8 of the series, and I think it's about 30 minutes. So, and that's coming out tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, noon Mountain Time. Figure out your other time zones from there. Yes, it's on water.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought you were going to do 2 lives tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that one's on graymanprepping, and the live tomorrow is on Camp Patton Family Compound. And right now, I'm working on the next one is going to be for the Prepping in Private series, and it's going to be kind of a short one. And basically, I'm going to Gibbs slap everybody.
You're going to what?
I'm going to Gibbs slap everybody. You know what a Gibbs slap is?
Nope.
Oh, I bet you do. You just don't know it.
I'm about to find out.
Yeah, you're about to find out. SM. Okay, let's see if we can do it here. Find out the good one here.
Oh, Tammy, we're not ruining Star Wars for you.
No, that's not the good one. Come on, where's the good one? I know I found. Here it is. Yeah. Okay. So I got to make this one. Make this a little big here. Let me do. Actually, let's do save as. Got to put it in the right spot. Images. Put it in there.
Yeah, I got some seeds today from Joe. I'm gonna have to plant some of them.
And there it is. And make it bigger. Gotta make it bigger so it works right. Okay, here we go. You know what a Gibbs slap is? You know what a Gibbs slap is now?
Yep.
Leroy Jethro Gibbs, NCIS. A slap to the face is an insult. A slap to the back of the head's a wake-up call. That's the quote from season 1. I mean, from episode 1. So, yeah. Yeah, so the one coming up is going to be talking about your social media footprint. And I hopefully will have that done in time for Sunday, to do either Sunday or Wednesday.
The internet saves everything.
Actually, not quite. Most of the internet saves most of the stuff. The only thing on the internet that saves everything is the Wayback Machine.
Well, that and that location down in Arizona.
Well, that's probably part of the Wayback Machine.
Probably.
Basically, you can go in and pick a website and enter a date, and it'll bring up what was on that website on that date. So if they delete something off their website, you can go back and find it. And if a website closes down, you can still go back and find it when it was still active. But yeah. Oof. Yeah, so tomorrow, my plans for tomorrow, if I get a good night's sleep, is to start working on the shop, putting up some more boards out in the shop, then going across the street, taking down the light fixture in the kitchen over there, seeing what sort of fixture there is, that, and hopefully they put it on one of those octagonal boxes. Then I can put a cover on it with a receptacle on it, and I can put up 3 or 4 of the 4-foot LED shop lights I have. They're just very nice slim ones. Put those up and light that kitchen up properly. But
and tomorrow morning I got to pull my my beans and French toast sticks out of the freeze dryer.
Cool.
A leave ad. Ooh.
Harbor Freight ad on mine here right now. That goes. Yeah, pennies. I've been making note of going back and counting up the number of ads people saying they're getting, and like, all right, about tomorrow evening they'll tell me how much I made today, all day, for all my videos today. And usually, unless somebody gives me a super chat or something, it's less than $1.50, 100% of the time, and it's less than 50 cents most of the time. And it's like, what are all these ads people saying they're what they're getting? And yeah, the platform is not paying out what they're supposed to be paying out. So yeah, and of course, if I marked it non-monetized, they still put a boatload more of ads on it because they know they don't got to pay me for them because it's not monetized.
That's because you don't have 1 million subscribers yet. That'll be next week.
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing some stuff on here. I'm thinking about. I thought about seriously having my wife do reactions, doing a reaction videos, because the reaction videos get a lot of hits and stuff. But some of the reaction videos going out there watching our first songs and stuff from back in the 60s and stuff. People first time watching, seeing
Yeah, Frank Sinatra. Yeah.
No, I mean even the biggest one out there right now is the Righteous Brothers Unchained Melody. Someone posted their first reaction video 3 days ago, and they got over 250,000 views on it. And they only have like 70,000 subscribers, and they have 250,000 views on it in a couple days. It's like, bam.
Yeah, you only get monetization for the first 24 hours. Is that correct?
What was that again?
Do you get monetization only for the first 24 hours of a video?
No, once your channel's monetized, any ad playing on videos that you mark as monetized, is you got to mark each individual video as you do it as monetized.
Oh,
yeah.
I better get my button here.
What I noticed is here over on Camp Family Compound, my video over there, my number one video. Let me bring it up. I'm getting data here for you guys. And let's go change it from 28 days to lifetime. All right, my number one video, which was about lamp oils, alternative fuels for emergencies, has 260,460 views on it.
Wow.
All right, and that was done December 14th, 2019.
Is it monetized?
That's the video that I've had that many views on it. I got monetized a year later, maybe a year and a half after that. But still, all right, in the last 90 days, that video has 29,200 views on it just in the last 90 days. Back in September, it had 75,000 views in one day. I mean, one week. That's when YouTube pushes it. About every 6 months, YouTube pushes that video.
Is it a monetized video though? Does it help you?
Yes. Yeah. When I became monetized, I went back and monetized. I spent a day and a half going through all my old videos, each individual one monetizing it, and go answering the questions and stuff and everything, making it monetized.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. Hang on. Let me see. I think if it's down, it's linked down in the description. Let me make sure. It may or may not be linked. Hang on. Let me look here. I'm going to look at the description here.
I think one of my, off the top of my head, because I can't look at it right now, I'm on my cell phone. But one of my best views is some of my shorts, or one of my shorts. I had like over 2,000 views on it.
Yeah. All right. It's not. I took that link out of the Grayman description. If you look at any of my camp patent compound videos, it's in the description down there. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Show you guys it. Okay. How to find that one? Actually, let me see if I can find it here. Let me hang on. Let me go this way here. There we go. So there it is. And so the actual link to that is, and of course, getting an ad on it. 2 ads on it. So it had ads that pop up on it right away. But there's the link for it. And if you guys want to see it, but yeah, that's the one that I go through and I talk about olive oil, diesel fuel, kerosene, and vegetable oils and stuff. And since I did that, I did a live stream was it early this year or was it late in December? I did a video on this channel about it as adding a little bit more to it. And stuff I found out since I did that video is that the cooking oils, your vegetable oils, they've been treated so they don't burn in the pan, and that makes them harder to burn when you put them in, when you use a wick and everything to make them ignite. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got a question, Joe.
Yeah.
Now I got a 10,000 BTU kerosene heater. Now, is there something else I can put in there, like something else other than kerosene?
All right, here's your classifications. Number 3, kerosene. Number 2, kerosene. Number 1, kerosene. Oh, sorry, I mixed that up. Sorry, let me start down here. Number 3, diesel. Number 2, diesel. Number 1, diesel is the same as number 3, kerosene. Number 2, kerosene. Number 1, kerosene. You got 2 other things in there, and then you hit gasoline. That's the way they crack it or refine it. The difference between number 1 diesel and number 3 kerosene is that number 3 kerosene has no additives in it.
Okay, now if I were to put that diesel stuff in my kerosene heater, right? Would the BTUs be different?
All right, the BTUs are going to be different if you use number 1, 2, or 3 kerosene. Each one puts out different BTUs because they're refined differently, but all 3 are burnable in it. So the number 1 diesel will put out less BTUs than number 2 or number 1 kerosene. It'll put out the same as number 3 kerosene because that's basically the same thing.
All right.
But the problem is the diesel has additives in it for combustion engines and has other chemicals added to it. And so those are being put off into the air. So it's not recommended except in extreme emergencies.
Okay, so in other words, I should be sticking with kerosene.
Right, for a heater, for an indoor heater, yeah. Now, what you can do, you can check on, I know it used to be true down here, because that's what I did. I went to a wholesaler and I bought a 55-gallon barrel of kerosene, and the price per gallon was less than a third of what it was down at the Ace Hardware or any of the other places I could buy, a 5-gallon container of kerosene from, because I was bulk buying, 55 gallons. I had to pay $10 for a deposit on the drum. But when I could take the drum back and they would just fill it up, at that cheaper price. And that's one of the things that becomes, if you know about, finding the places and the wholesalers and going in there and getting stuff like that. Hey, B. Hendricks, how's it going? And then you can get your kerosene cheaper by buying it bulk.
Okay, now how long does kerosene last?
All right, the kerosene I have and my current drum sitting out here in the shop, I've had that. Oh, gee. Before 9/11, so I bought it in like 89 or something like that, or sorry. Yeah, I bought the house. No, so I bought that in 92. So yeah, okay. It's 30 years. It's 30 years old. I do every now and then put something that you tip the barrel a little bit and let it sit there, so all the water runs to the bottom corner, and I'll stick a little tube down in it, and I'll pump out all the water out, because it gets condensation in there. So I'll pump the water out and stuff, and any gelled stuff out with it. And because I put that in my tractor in the wintertime. I'll put like a quart in a 5-gallon jug of diesel and put it in my tractor, just to thin the diesel down so that it
keeps the lines from freezing and gelling.
Yeah.
That's all diesel additive is kerosene.
No, it's a little bit more. At least most of the good ones are more than that, because they you use so much little of it.
Isn't there a fungicide or something they put in there too for diesel? Something grows in diesel that there's an algae that can grow in diesel, especially if it's exposed to light. But if you there are several different ones. There's a summer additive, there's a long-term additive, there's a winter additive, there's a deep cold winter additive. And I got the deep cold winter additive after last year's, minus 28 degrees. And for 5 gallons, all I need to do is put in there is a teaspoon for 5 gallons. Yeah, it doesn't sound like much. I filled up a 55-gallon drum of off-road diesel in
for that
April. It's full to the top, and I added just some regular additive to it. And there's like almost no air in that drum. It sits in my container with my tractor at the property, so I'll have enough diesel fuel to last me a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the diesel additives. That's like I say, there are different ones for different seasons, but the winter preservative one, for up here, we get some warmth in the summer. We get hot days in the summer, but our summer here is our spring and summer, winter and fall here is 4.5 months total. Seems like
long season.
Yeah, long spring, fall, spring, summer, and fall. But so like in it starts getting hot in June. Then you have July, August, and halfway through September it's cooling off again. So, but it'll work fine. There's not during the summertime. I'll fill the tractor up sometimes 2-3 times a day, which means I'm going to, it's a 5-gallon can to fill the tractor up, and which means every week or so I go down and fill up 5 or 6 jerry cans of diesel. So it's fresh during the summertime. Yeah,
I remember doing the wood thing. I had a 4-wheeler and log splitter, chainsaw, all the 2-stroke stuff, right, and some other stuff. And the landlord gave me I can't remember, it was a pretty big size fuel tank, enough for to fill up like 2 cars for like a month or something like that, right? And the fuel company that I went to for the furnace and for the gas, I said to them, when you bring the gas, you bring fuel stabilizer enough to for what, and they every time they'd have a case of fuel stabilizer, because sometimes it'd be 300 liters I'd get, sometimes it'd be 200 liters I'd get, just whatever,
Yeah.
and it was nice to have that gas there, you know what I mean, for the 4-wheeler.
Yeah,
right.
gas doesn't have a very long shelf life, especially if there's alcohol in it.
Yeah, well, I've found that maybe it's because my even my push mower now, right, and my my generators, especially on my generators, I find at least 6 months, I can leave it, like I put a little bit of fuel stabilizer in there, but 6 months, and then I run it until it's empty, and then I put fresh stuff in there. I don't need that big fuel tank anymore, right? So it
yeah.
Just got to watch that alcohol in the fuel lines over time. It just dries them out and they start to crack and drip.
And you got to be careful on the if the carburetor on the motor is not a aluminum carburetor, if it's one of the new plastic ones, the ethanol fuels will just eat it up. You got to get the ethanol free fuels for it. Either that or like on mine is a tri-fuel run on gasoline, propane, or natural gas. And so the gasoline tank is empty on it, and I'm not going to put any gas in it. I'll just hook it up to a propane tank and run it on the propane tank. Yeah, because I don't, of course, now that I got the natural gas in the house, once I get it plumbed outside, I can pull the generator over there next and just plumb it in, and the hose onto that, and then plug the cord in to a outlet box, and I can power the house.
Yeah, my furnace, I was thinking about doing something like that. My furnace is propane, and I was thinking down the road getting solar panels, right, with a nice big battery bank, and then having a second line or something, or a second line for the generator, because it's a dual fuel. One of my generators is a dual fuel, and it can run off of propane too.
Yeah,
it's not a big one, but still, I'm glad I got it though.
Yeah.
Look at your book, the propane versus gasoline on the little generators. You get less amps out of it because the RPMs can't keep up. It has less power.
Yeah. The even on most of the generators themselves, it'll list, it'll sell gasoline, and it'll list your wattage output, and it'll list propane wattage output, and then natural gas and wattage output. It drops down.
Yeah.
I think the one I got out there is an 8500 on gasoline, 7500 on propane, and 6800 on
natural
gas.
Yeah,
and,
mine's the same. I think it's 3600 with gas, and about 2700 on propane. But I've got it on the gas now because I'm running, if I ever have a power failure, right, extension cords come in the house, right?
Yeah.
But if it's charging up a battery for solar panels, it can run an extra hour or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, I just saw the time here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. All right, so tomorrow on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is daily groceries versus monthly staples. And that was suggested by Butch at Sand Hollow Homestead. He sent me an email saying, I'm sitting at Costco, Nampa, Idaho, and nearly every grocery cart is only loaded with perishable foods, including cases of water bottles. My thought is, where's the generation of adults that buy staples to last the month? And he goes on and talks about stuff. So it's like, are you buying stuff for the month, or are you just buying stuff for a couple days? And so that's what that's going to be talking about. Saturday, back here on Gray Man Prepping for Survival Saturday, is a topic that was requested specifically by Dr. Paula Ruffin. That's security cameras, and we're going to be covering that. Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, we got Mark here coming in with Tammy of Rebel Canners, and we're going to be talking about
canning dairy.
Canning dairy, yeah. And I got some great pictures and stuff for that. Tuesday, back here on Gray Man Prepping, for Tactical Tuesday, it's away from home disasters. Now, that doesn't mean that the disaster is away from home. It means you're away from home when disaster strikes you. So that's what's on Tuesday. And then, of course, next Thursday is going to be the same thing as tonight, hitting the news headlines, and then there she is saying milk, butter, cheese.
I haven't done cheese yet. I have got to try cheese.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Alrighty, folks. Thank you, Mark, for coming up. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, everyone in the side chat for your comments and everything. And remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicine, clothing, learning a new skill like canning dairy. And we'll see you around. Oh, and you can plant an indoor garden if you don't have one going already. Take care, everyone.
Have a good night.